Hello, happy Friday. Thank you so much for being here. I need to address something before we get started today. I bought the dogs new squeaky toys. I don't know if you can hear them. There's a lot of squeaking happening. This is Zion that has fortunately finally moved his squeaky toy out of the office and into the room on the other side of the corridor. Regardless, let's see if we can make it through. Hopefully it won't interrupt the audio. We're gonna have to find out. Okay, so today I want to address a term called self-efficacy, which is coined in the field of psychology. Zion, please don't do it in here. 1 second. Sorry, I had to tell him to leave because it just got too loud. The term self-efficacy is a term coined in the field of psychology, and it practically boils down to when you believe in your capability to perform a specific task that is associated with a specific outcome, you are more likely to increase your performance within that outcome. You're more likely to get the desired outcome that you want. And you might say, Rebecca, this makes sense. Of course, if you believe you can do something, you're more likely to do that thing. And when you're more likely to do the thing, you're more likely to get the outcome from it. Yes. But I want to really bring it into the core of, you need to believe that you're capable of doing the thing. Okay? Yeah, of course, yes. But think about it for a second. Whatever you want that you are not getting in your life right now, whatever outcome that you want, you're not getting because you're not taking the action that is associated with that outcome. Now, there are a lot of levels to this. There's a lot of complexities within this, yes. But just think for a moment that if you just strengthened your belief in your own capability to do the thing, you will get the thing done. So this boils down to everything that I'm always talking about in terms of identity shifting. We have to work on our identities, and one of the things that we work on in our identities is our belief systems. Whatever you believe is true about you and what you can do and what is meant for you will become true. That's why Henry Ford said, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're right. So if we work on the belief systems first, we work on our own belief that we can actually do something, then we will change our lives. And it starts with the belief. Because if you don't believe that you can actually do it, you either won't do it, or you'll try and prove to yourself that you can't do it, so that we're just reinforcing our old belief that we're not capable of doing that thing. And when we do that, we still don't get the outcomes, because we're not going to work on something for long enough for it to work. That is one thing that changed my life, is when I realized if I want something and I do something in order to get that thing and it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that I can't do it. It just means that that approach didn't work. It means that I have to change whatever I was doing, or I didn't do it for long enough. When I was a teenager, and this is not going to paint a pretty picture of me as a teenager, okay? When I was a young teenager, I've said before, I've had body image issues for as long as I can remember. I can literally remember sitting in the second grade. I was about 7, 8 years old, and realizing that I was bigger than my peers. And we already had discussions at that time about our weight, okay? And I realized I was like a couple of kilos above some of the others, and that bothered me, and that made me feel like something was wrong with me. At the age of like 8, okay, so I've had this for as long as I can remember. I don't really remember much before 8. So I had body image issues. I didn't know what to do about it back then. I didn't know how things worked. Like, stop eating candy. Okay, I'm a kid. I'm not gonna stop eating candy. I'm sorry about that. The dogs are making themselves known today. Maybe they want their own YouTube channel. Anyways, when I reached my early teen years is when I started understanding more about nutrition and exercise and the impact on my body. And I would literally weigh myself in the morning and then go do some exercise that felt like hard. King is here now taking over the toy. I would go exercise and then I would, drink half a liter of water or something during that period of time, and I would come home and I would be weighing myself again, not understanding why haven't I lost weight when I just exercised. That was the extent to which I thought that I had an understanding of the exercise and the impact it had on my size and on my weight. King is really loving this toy. I really hope this is not bothering you. So the point I'm trying to make here is that I gave it one shot and I proved to myself that it didn't work. Exercise does not work in my weight loss journey, was the conclusion. Because I tried once, and I tried maybe a few times, and I would go and do like 100 sit-ups, and I couldn't see a difference. Like, I didn't have abs, right? I would starve myself for a week, and I didn't have the dream body that I wanted. And then I went back to eating crap. So I was just proving to myself, oh, it didn't work, it didn't work, it didn't work, it didn't work, it didn't work. So I just continued being the person that I was being because I didn't know how to change that. We have to work on our beliefs in order to start taking action in a different way. So once I realized this has nothing to do with a one-time off exercise plan. This has nothing to do with a 3-month diet plan. It has nothing to do with a 6-week juice cleanse or however, whatever. I don't even know how long a juice cleanse is, okay? But there's something very wrong about thinking that you can change who you are in a short period of time, and then that is going to give you the sustainable results that you want. You have to change your belief system. You have to change your idea around who you are. You have to change your beliefs. So I thought that I would eat healthier and exercise for a limited period of time so that I could get the body that I wanted, and then I could just go back to whatever way I was living before. And that doesn't work because you just turn, your old body comes back, right? You have to start eating and exercising in a way that is aligned permanently, long term, with the person that you know you want to be. And then that comes back to believing that bad food is actually bad for you. And having enough self-respect and self-love to not want to feed yourself bad food all the time. It comes down to believing that exercise is good for me. It's not a punishment. It is something that is going to keep me healthier for a long period of time. It's something that is going to take me into old age feeling amazing. And it's an investment. It's something that I'm doing for me, not as a punishment. So once you start changing your belief systems, you start acting in accordance with that belief system, and now you get the results that is aligned with the actions that you're now taking. So that's why I say, start with the identity first. Start with who you are first. Start with how you're thinking, what your beliefs are, what your assumptions are, what your judgments are. Spend time figuring out what is this programming that has been built up in my head over such a long period of time that I don't even think about it. Our programming is what is taking action when we are not actively thinking. And guess what? We're not actually actively thinking for the most part. We spend most of our time not being aware of exactly what we're thinking. Why are we thinking the way that we're thinking? Why are we doing the things that we're doing? What are we negotiating with ourselves? I used to have very strong negotiation skills with myself. Really, really good at making excuses for why I should act exactly in accordance with my shadows and my programming instead of acting in accordance with my goals. So this is what I wanted to achieve. This is what I already had. And the brain and the body will start wanting to go back to where we know this, right? We know what it is. We've known it for a long time. It might not have brought us where we want it to be, but at least we know it's safe. We know that things can work here, even though you don't love it. Over here, this is all new. We don't even know what this is. This is all new. This could be dangerous. So body and brain, addicted to the safety and all the feelings that we've been feeling and all the thoughts that we've been having, wanting to go in this direction. So how do you now change your belief system so that you can be aligned with the action that you want to take to get the results that you want to achieve? We have to first detangle our old belief systems. We have to first, it's like, literally, think of it like this. You're having a messed up ball of yarn. 1 second. Dogs are amazing. Okay, think of it like this. You have a ball of yarn and it's fully tangled and you have no idea what's even on the inside. You have no idea how to even find the threads or where it starts or where it ends. So you just have to take it one small pull at a time and figure out how is this whole thing wired together. And then how can we now pull it out into threads and start getting order and start really understanding what is this thing that we're dealing with. That is your current mind, your current situation, your current programming. So now you want to start detangling that, which means every time you have a reaction to anyone saying or doing something, and you think, oh, you have judgment, you think it's wrong what they're doing, you get uncomfortable, you feel agitated or resentful, or maybe you even just feel, wow, that was so nice and so beautiful and I love that. Or maybe it's like, oh, gossipy, let's figure out what's going on here. Every time you experience something like that, it says something about your programming. So try to figure out, what is it saying about my programming? What is it saying about my beliefs around what is right and what is wrong? What does it say about how I feel about myself? One of the reasons we love judging other people is so we can feel better about ourselves. But if we already feel amazing about ourselves, we don't actually have to judge other people. If we don't have insecurities that are trying to pull ourselves down, we don't have to judge other people. We can just let people do whatever they want, and then, that's their issue. So every time you feel the need to judge someone, and then there's that emotional reaction to your judgment, it's an indication of something that's going on within you. Every time you make assumptions about how a future outcome is going to play out, and you feel all of the emotions that are involved with that, it says something about your programming. Every time you have a thought coming out of the blue around a situation, it says something about your programming. How are you labeling things good, bad, right, wrong? It says something about your programming. And now I'm kind of taking it out into a bit of a more broad perspective again. I know that I've been asked to be more specific. But we need both. We need all of it, okay? So think about next time you are imagining your dream life. Yeah, and you should do this as a daily practice. Imagine your dream life. And not to try to beat yourself up over what you don't have or what your life doesn't look like, but to get inspired to see, where can I do things differently? Where can I change my life? And then start doing that. But if you just imagine your dream life and you think, okay, in order to have this result that I want, whatever it is, better relationships, better friendships, better business, better career, more healthy, whatever it is, think about it. A beautiful wardrobe, nice travels. I promise I'm gonna end soon and these dogs are gonna be out of it. Just think about what it is that you want to have, and then think about, what would I need to do consistently in order to have this outcome? And then start thinking about, all of the excuses come. Oh, I can't do that because, oh, my life isn't structured like that. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, I've tried. All of this those are beliefs around your own capability to do the thing. Now we're back to where we started. See the loop closing. That comes down to your belief in your capacity to do the thing. What you need to do first is change your belief. You change that belief by saying, I'm not going to allow myself to be reduced by my own ideas of what can be done. And then you just start doing it. And every single time you catch yourself wanting to give up because it's not working, instead you ask yourself, why is it not working? Maybe I haven't done it for long enough. Zion is trying to eat my plant. I don't know what's up with these dogs today. Figure out what is this belief, where is it coming from, and what is it trying to tell you? And when you get into the action of doing the thing, ask yourself, if it's not working, ask yourself, have I just not done this for long enough? Ask yourself, is there something I can tweak? Can I figure out why has this not been working? Can I tweak it and try again in a different way? Have I just not been consistent? Because very few good things come without proper consistency. Frequent action, application over and over again. What kind of skills haven't I developed yet? How can I accelerate my learning of and application of this skill? Instead of trying to hold yourself back and trying to pull yourself back to where you were, because that's what we instinctively just want to do. We want to constantly go back to safety. What can you do to make yourself believe so hard in your capability to do this thing that you're going to end up on this side instead with the outcome that you want and desire? And trust me, once you get there, it's the best feeling in the world. And once you do that with one thing, now you trust your capability to learn to do the things that are aligned with the outcomes that you want to have. So once you've done it once in this area, you just apply the same principles in another area, and now you get that dream outcome, and now you get this dream outcome, and you get this dream outcome. It comes back. The first step is working on the belief. So thank you for your patience with me and the dogs today. I appreciate you so much. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. And as always, let me know in the comments if there's something you would like me to address in a future video. If you have any questions, if anything was unclear, if you want to send some love to the dogs, any of that, I would love to hear from you. Bye.